Hey folks, Dave the Not So Evil Viking 13 here, and welcome back to my Fallout 4 Let's Build project here at Sanctuary Hills, where General Dave is attempting to rebuild the pre-war world, at least in this little corner of suburbia. I'm going to start things off for this Let's Build episode with asking you guys what you think of this guard tower design. I actually forgot to quick save after building the guard tower at the end of last episode, so I had to redesign it anyway. What I've got here is some snap and build iron girders. I hate to use those, but I can't find them anywhere else. But unfortunately, snap and build has been removed from most of the mod sites, so it is hard for other people to get it as well. But it works great for a tower support. Up top, I've got some walls here from Thematic and Practical. What's cool about these is they have built-in shelving and a nice little firing port for what was, I believe, supposed to be a vendor's booth right here. Same thing on this side. Got some shelving and some sandbags and thin walls on this side for protection from snipers and anybody out there trying to do sanctuary harm. From this vantage point, my marksman would have a perfect view of the river. No sniper could crest that hill without us noticing. Also got some nice awnings from, I think it's, what is it? Snappy Builds, I believe, is the mod. I do like this design, but I'm also toying with a second idea, so keep all that in mind. Let's go over here and look at this version. Again, it's the same base pieces, the snap and build iron girders, but I've used repurposed bits of some of those old destroyed sanctuary houses as the top of the guard tower. I think that blue and red actually looks pretty good together. What's cool about using these metal pieces is it really gives it a more structured feel, and if we've been building things like the Grey House, my Minutemen Capitol building right there, odds are we would have some nicer guard booths than just the scrappy wooden ones. So the iron girders and the sanctuary pieces make a pretty good fit, I think, with of course the barn roof on top. And in case of an attack, we could just slide those windows open and return fire. Some extra defenses right there. So between those two styles, you guys vote. Sanctuary style, wooden style, or use both along the perimeter wall of Sanctuary. Which, by the way, if I duck back here, is basically complete. I've been going down my finalized list of ideas for this settlement, and if you guys don't know how these builds work, I build a lot of things with you guys, but I also keep some things secret till the end. So what I'm doing right now, I'd say we're definitely at or past the halfway point of the build, is I'm going down my list and prioritizing things. I want to make sure that I have enough frame rate and memory overhead to get the most important things built. So at the top of that list was the complete wall for Sanctuary. Yes, I know that the game spawns enemies, but for my immersion purposes, and if I share this settlement with you guys on, say, the Nexus via the Blueprints mod, I want to make sure that we have a complete defensive wall. After all, this is supposed to be Sanctuary 2, 3, maybe even 4 years after General Dave destroyed the Institute. You know, one of these days, I'm going to have to actually put a door here. Fantastic defensive wall, and you can just march right in the front door. But yeah, I'm going to put those guard towers, whatever style I choose, or perhaps both, at different intervals down the wall to cover every angle and curve along it. And as you guys saw from my blueprint from a few episodes back, I've got a plan for every single building here in town. I'm trying to create an entire functioning town here in Sanctuary to replace the older build, which was a fortress of just kind of junky survival. Kind of just below having completed defensive walls on my list of things that I want to make sure that I add to the build before my frame rate erodes completely, top of that list again, just below the walls, is what I'm going to be working on today. The junky village just outside. The idea here is that Sanctuary is going to be a protected community. Almost, oh yeah, ignore the true hardware sign, that's just a texture glitch. Okay, so yeah, the idea is that Sanctuary is a protected community for the Minutemen's most trusted citizens and their families. It's also going to be the center of government that we're building back there. But kind of like medieval castles from back in the day, when you've got a fortified settlement that everyone wants to live in, not everyone is going to be able to live there, but if you can't live inside, the next best thing is to live just outside. What I've been prototyping out here is kind of the slums just outside of town, where the Minutemen aren't casting people out necessarily. The people that live out here, though, just don't have the clearance to get inside the secure walls. Let's take the elevator down, and I'll show you guys what I have going on here. And I just realized, this is my first time actually riding the elevator, this is not going to work because it faces the rock wall. I can definitely move that aside, though. Yeah, I know what I can do with that. What I've got down here, though, is a kind of beached barge that they've drugged from somewhere. A kind of tower thing. A few bits of boats, and this is just the groundwork. I'm going to be laying more of it with you guys today. But also lots of framework around the water purifiers. You guys might have seen that we have a water system inside, but I like the idea that a few of you actually had for a purpose for the people that live outside the walls, and that's to help maintain Sanctuary's water system. And if we've got a whole city inside, well, we're going to need some pretty serious water sources. So perhaps in exchange for a pittance of caps, the people who live and work just outside of the walls of Fortress Sanctuary, one of their jobs might be to work on water purifiers. And so I've kind of set up a walkway system where we can build some shacks for them to live in, but also where they can be working on that water purifier. I just grabbed... Oh, wow, look at this, guys. I grabbed, by holding down E, entire wall section around Sanctuary. Look at that. Wow. Let me go back into workshop mode. That's impressive that I didn't just crash. Nice work, Fallout. Okay, well, let's just move the elevator manually. Let's see. Let's do this then. Let's put it up here. And then I'll build a cool looking bridge structure that will lead out to it. Gotta go out of workshop mode again. Raise it up to see what we're working with here. Okay. Let's get things started with some just traditional wooden prefab pieces. I don't use these nearly as often anymore. So let's make use of them here. I'm going to start with a basic snapping setup. We'll modify things as we go. Like replacing that one corner with this corner right here, even though it's inverted in the wrong direction. Got 4 of these balconies, good grief. And I think I'm going to put a solid back wall solid-ish back wall on the back of the elevator itself. We'll just fill in a few of these gaps, some of these scrappy pieces. That one actually snaps in, nice. And I think I have some thin door frames. I think this is snap and build stuff right there. But the thin door frames are going to be under Homemaker. Structures. Wood walls. What do we have here? Got a few extra pieces. Some extra tall walls. Ooh, let's real quick before I place the door, place this nice big shack section. See if I can get it to snap. Nope, not right there. Just while I'm in the category. Oh, I bet it's this piece right here that's causing the weird issue. No, it's just not wanting to snap right there at all. There we go. This will be one large section right there, perhaps with that open roof remaining. I kind of like how that looks. Get those extra tall pieces. We've got this half shack wall, just not wanting to snap. I want it to. So I might just make my own doorway like that and leave it open. This will probably be a lounge section, seeing you've got the elevator coming right through. I imagine you would not want to actually sleep here if everyone's coming and going at all hours of the night. Let's go back to our primary category. And I'm going to do a flat rooftop so that we can have our walkway go right up to the bridge. Like that. That's looking good. Unlike my frame rate, which is already starting to complain. This guy's got himself a little shack on the swan boat there. Oh, I need to add some supports under this. Well, look what we have here. Balcony supports. Just need to rotate the boat so it's not clipping through. That looks pretty good. That plank was floating just the tiniest bit, and it was bugging me. I'll lower those shack supports down a tiny bit there, and a bit there as well. Let's go up top now, across our drawbridge right there, onto the bridge, ironically. And let's see what I have to work with. Scrap that piece. Wow, that was 20 wood. What do I have to work with up here? Let's see, stairs. Could probably clip them through a little bit like this. Only the agile can climb onto this and head down into the settlement through the elevator. Kind of works though. Of course, I do have the other stairs that I use to get up right here. Can add some railings to those, maybe right here. But I'd say no railings for this one. You just climb down, head right to the elevator. Okay. That's a pretty boxy shape for that one, but because it's kind of hanging out below the bridge, it hides the boxiness. What I'm gonna do for our next shack platforms is use a few more of these funky pieces from Homemaker. In fact, I'm gonna move this aside and see where this might snap onto the stairs. Not at all, apparently. I'm just going to clip this one in here like this. I like how many holes it has in it. And a full sheet of plywood for that side. Yeah, he picked the wrong side to defend there. The best defensive wood is facing Sanctuary itself. I kind of like this idea. Use the door piece with that cool looking overhang and put that piece in the center. It's a unique wall section now. And of course I will add balcony supports below this, perhaps even just with this piece. Yeah, that kind of works. And of course I have this massive prefab shack. And I think, guys, the detailing out here is going to be light compared to the inside of Sanctuary, just because I'm trying to fit so much into this build. And after all, the people outside are kind of living in poverty, so there's not as much to detail. Cruel, but true. Let's put in some of these cool looking walls from Thematic and Practical. I'm gonna turn snapping off. Leave snapping off, that is. And build this kind of junkily myself. Trying to avoid that squared off look. Snap this piece. Now let's just align it a little bit off like this. Another section like that. Ooh, I have not seen these railings before, and I'm not sure how. They are fantastic. That is really cool looking. And thanks to place everywhere, I can give them just a bit of rotation like that for my immersion. This metal shack is very unique looking. I'm gonna turn snapping on. Is it on? Man, it is not like this floor section right here. I was thinking this would be a really neat looking edge for this barge section. Use some of the metal. Just trying to create some unique shapes to contrast with the organized building going on inside of the walls of Sanctuary. Let's put a door frame on this one. I'll say the small one. And I'll leave that back wall kind of angled correctly. This one, however, I'm going to lean in. Ooh. Just a tad. Actually, that does not work well. I guess if they're building on the flat surface of the barge itself, it'd be hard to get things too crooked. I'm going to use a few of these pieces to mix things up and break up some of those, again, squared off shapes. That's looking good. Do one down here too. I think I'm actually going to raise that one up a little bit, like a step. So people who live down here are ever so close to order and safety under General Dave, but they're not quite allowed inside. It's a pretty nifty stair system too. That kind of fits well here if I do it like this. Let me up. Oh, and now I'm stuck in the corner. There we go. Do a ground piece like that. Let's try a section like this, but one that's kind of sinking. Oh, snapping's on. Just want to twist that a tiny bit to line up with the stairs better. No safety railings here. Just the slums outside of Sanctuary. Okay, that's looking good. how do I want to do this section right here? Tell you what, guys, let's do a quick save. Now I'm going to stop in on my miscellaneous wood category. We're going to put down some of the bridges and stuff like that to connect the boat and the other ramp or platform pieces back there at the water filter. There we go. Before I back out completely, thematic and practical G2M. There we go. Wood wall. Oh yeah, you guys have some unique walls in here too. Shack wall outer. Oh, these are great. Oh man. So let's find some pieces before I go to the wooden bridges then. Glad I decided to stop at G2M. Let's fill a couple of these unique pieces in along some of the wall sections. And we'll come back through later on and do rooftops. Got some doorways too, I thought. There's one good doorway. We can add one like this as well. I like this having the angled and snapped back corner right there, and then the one crazy wall opposite that side. That works well, I think. I'm going to go out here before I place those platforms I was talking about, or those walls for the platform. Just put a few walls up here. Almost just a shelter for whoever is stuck out here doing maintenance. That's cool. And one piece of crappy rooftop to cover over that, with a gigantic hole in it. Let's see, am I missing any wall sections now? I've gone through a bunch of unique ones. Got that one big prefab, which is good to go. I got this crazy looking little shack. And we've got... Now this section back here, I think I could do something with. So this is the outer corner. That doesn't work very well. Let's do this. Will you snap? Come on. Oh, I saw it. Snap. Oh, there we go. Surface snap. Off. So again, this section out here is almost just a little work area. Just to protect people who are stuck working on those water purifiers. Oh, this is neat. Railings and all? Guys, I gotta explore what G2M and Thematic and Practical have been up to more often. Tons of good stuff here. Just adding protective shielding along the way. Ooh, bad frame rate in that direction. Let's see. That connection bridge is good to go. Yeah, I think the last shack that I'm going to add before I decided this has gotten way out of control is the one up here. Shack low wall. Let's not use the low walls here. Do a tall outer wall. I like that. Got our stairs back here. So I will use... Let's see. Oh, and we fell. Can I use this doorway? Is that too big? It's almost too big. I'll make it work though. Shack wall interior. You know, this is Thematic and Practical's base pieces, so maybe I should look at using those, you know? Yeah, let's do that. You know, I still haven't made it, guys, to the wooden bridges that I was talking about before we left Thematic and Practical originally. Lost inside of the categories. Do one door there. One door there. Alright. Shack wall. Do we have any full-size wall sections? Yes, there's one here. Not one there, though. Ooh. I love it. Smooth frame rate. No frame rate. All you gotta do is turn around. Yep, we gotta go to the smaller wall sections. What kind of snapping was that? Mind the hole in the ground. I have an idea for that though. That's cool, these actually snap. So now we need the back wall sections, which I believe would snap to things like this. Yep. And maybe this. Yes again. FPS lag so bad there it didn't actually register the click. Oh man. So small wall again here. Yep. Just do it as a window. I think it's back walls here as well. Yep. That last one's a weird shape. Is that, Phew, I don't know what that is, guys. It looks like back wall sized, but it's not wanting to snap. I'll just place it manually for now. It'll jut out a bit and add some character. Got the swan boat pulled in from some park. You gotta hop across to get to the next section. Okay. Let's go into free cam and take a look at how our shacks are looking. This is what the ramshackle shack city's looking like. I definitely don't want to build it any more than that, just because I've got to save some frame rate for what's going on inside the walls. Alright guys, I'm going to restart the game to get my frame rates back, but that's a look at kind of what we have going on right now. I've made quite a bit of progress in areas that you guys aren't allowed to see yet, but again, this shack village outside the walls was a big part of the personality of the settlement, and I wanted to make sure that I got it built out before we got too much further. Alright, I'll be right back. Let's restart this game. And we're back, guys, with a lot more frames, and as you can see, I've been putting some junkified rooftops on top of our shacks. That looks a little bit too wonky. I'll probably go back and fix some of that. These two look a bit too snapped together, but over here, quite happy with how all this has turned out. Got bits of junky wall that kind of connects all of those together. And a very nice looking scrap shantytown. Nice looking as in realistic, not actually nice looking. Looks like garbage, but my immersion is pleased. Can you actually see this from inside of Sanctuary? Oh yeah, you can definitely see the slums a bit. I'm gonna put those boxcar doors over these firing ports, I guess, so you can keep the firing ports closed until it's time to shoot out on the less fortunate down below. Okay, let's finally go over to those miscellaneous wood categories that I mentioned like, what, a half an hour ago at this point? Let's place down some plank bridges here. Put that one like that. That's actually pretty far away. Like that, then. Go away, snapping. Like that. Let's make this one really precarious. Let's do wooden planks. Most definitely watch your step. And for this one, what can we do? Big old piece of sheet metal should do it. Window boards. Repurposed and reimagined. rotate that a tiny bit. Nice. Let's get one more piece of plywood. Oh, we have some actual nicer boards here. Can use these to get over like this. I'll put a crate or something there. Don't want to grab that. So there's that walkway. I'll put this one down. Let's do right here. Then one like this. With a big board going all the way inside. Then a board right here as well. Need to tilt it just the tiniest bit. Tinier bit, tinier bit. There we go. Man, you would not want to step hard on any of these boards. Where's that section of 3? There we are. And I'll put a single one next to it like this. So that I can place a piece of plywood like this. Nifty. Lower that down just a bit. That should do the trick. The one railing down here. I like it. I like it. To break up this shape, I'm going to put a board like this. Do we have any of the rotten boards down here? Do have some railings finally, all the way at the end. Whoa! 14 of these balcony railings. Let's use a couple of those. Get them out of the inventory. I still think the inventory is part of why my FPS has been dropping. I've gone through and actually cleared out all of my old weapons and miscellaneous like letters and stuff out of the workshop here, and I think it's helped a little bit. A big part of my problem, I believe, remains the fact that I've got so many pieces that I stored instead of scrapping like this one. Got a big old section of roof boards right here. That's kind of what I was looking for, actually. I'll tilt that uphill like that. Oh wow, 24 of these. See what I mean, guys? I really should have been scrapping this stuff. I'm just gonna do that one like, oh perfect, just like that. Just a few bits of scrappy railing here and there. 28 of these. Jeez. It's not even a good railing. It's got holes down to the water and all that good stuff. There we go. So we still have access to get at the water pump there. While I'm here, let's put a small staircase right here to get up on that platform. Dangerous, but isn't everything down here? It's looking nice and scrappy. Nice and scrappy. Going back to miscellaneous. What else is down here? Plywood. Ooh. I like that canopy right there. Is there anywhere that I could put that? Love how muddy it looks. It's awesome. Perhaps as a fix for the roof over here. Let me go into free cam. Oh, not free cam. No clip. There we go. Just scrap those. Two of these could make an interesting roof like that. More window boards. Just needs some additional supports underneath. I think that could work, guys. Let's see, would this one work well? Let's rotate it. Oh, not you. Not you again. Here. Roof board slope. F7 will lock it down. That is a crappy looking shack. Oh, it needs a support on this side as well. Oh, look at that. It's just a big piece of patchwork. That's cool. What could I use? Do the barns have weird filler pieces for the roof? No, perhaps warehouse? Not really, it looks like. Lots of glass. Well, let's just go to miscellaneous for now. And I'll put a big wooden pillar to hold the peak of that rooftop up. Almost like they put the roof on before they built the shack underneath of it. Yeah, that is a very leaky shack as far as rain and air goes. But they're definitely not boxy. I think I'll lean a few of these walls out, seeing they're not connected to anything anyway. Just a couple. Give it a little bit of character. And a single support for that pier. Oh yeah, there's a hole right here. I'll leave it. Are there any more plankways that need to be built? Got that bridge there. Ooh, I know one thing I can use that I actually had not thought of until now. Let's go to G2M and then Coast Pier. I had forgotten about this stuff. Fish farm. Got all kinds of cool stuff. Let's use a couple of these platforms. Surface snapping off. This definitely adds a little bit of character. Perhaps a working rowboat. Right here. Tilt that just a bit. That's looking good. Watch your step on these. That's... Oh, I am stuck. There we go. Oh, they have 45-degree shack bridges. That's cool. I'll just put one right there for some character. But I think, guys, our shack city, our slums are complete. This is going to add a really cool contrast to the build. Now, when I say complete, of course, they're complete in just the structural part. There's still a lot of detailing to do, but that's where I'm going to come in off of the recording and surprise you guys with all those details for the final tour. Before I call it for today, is there anything else I want to add? From the fishery category. Just add a bit of character here and there. You know, it's funny, guys, frame rates are holding quite well right now. It must just be going through all the categories without any kind of planning back and forth that really kills the frame rate. That's interesting. Secure entrance right there for sure. Let's see, I think I'm going to take out that piece of retaining wall. And put in a security fence here. Where people could pass things back and forth under supervision, of course. That's not quite aligned. Ooh, Just a little bit. Oh, no, no, no. Get back here, fence. Okay, there we go. And we'll replace this with just a normal section of security fence. We'll let some light in right here. Seeing it's not a direct view down into the slums itself, it's kind of like across the rooftops. Not an awful view for those inside. And that's what really matters. Your view from inside the walls, right guys? And hey, you've earned your stay here in Sanctuary. Who wants to look out across a whole bunch of dirty slums? Yeah, it's just the rooftops. It's not too bad. So that's one access port there. One access port there. And let me look at the boxcar doors while I'm thinking about it. Elevators. Where are we? Boxcars. There we go. Do orange. So no access point over here. Just have the door right there kind of, no, it can't float that much. Oh yeah, it can float here because there's no actual window here. I'm going to give it some skids. That'll be fun. Down here, it can't float though because it has to actually seal up the door itself. So there's a hole in the wall. And same here. So the purpose of these boxcar doors, and I am going to leave them full size. I had planned to shrink them down, but again, the purpose is going to be to actually block gunfire and stuff like that from just being able to be shot right through the fence and hit the open area inside of Sanctuary. And there are some plans going on here with the concrete walls that I may or may not discuss with you guys in a later build episode. I might just work on that on my own. But what could I use for the rail for the boxcar door? Scaffolding doesn't make a good fit, I don't think. I'm kind of stumped, guys. Perhaps under miscellaneous. Do we have? Oh yeah, we have horizontal columns. Snapping on. We glitch one just right. Wait, where is it? It's stuck inside the fence now. Will it snap together like that? Of course not. This could be a cool way of setting up the boxcar doors to not just float, but have skids. Well, let's do one of them, see what you guys think. Ooh. Don't want to move the retaining wall, though. And then just a couple of good-sized girders to keep things well supported. Ooh, that's way too high. Oh, those aren't even close to lined up. Not perfect, but I like the concept. Perhaps I can hide the gap with more poles. Alright guys, let's try it out. Open the blast gate. And it's backwards. Oh, wow, that's perfect. That's just fantastic. Okay guys, I'm going to call it there for tonight. Hope you guys have enjoyed this episode of our rebuild of Fortress Sanctuary, which I am thinking of renaming as well. It's definitely got a fortress feel to it with our walls, defensive towers, and eventually turrets and the like. But it feels more like a home, or even a full town, than my original Fortress Sanctuary build. So I'm thinking about a rename to reflect that. If you guys have any ideas for that, toss those in the comments as well. I'll definitely be checking it out as I think it over. For now though, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.